Ask any coaster enthusiast what their favorite roller coaster manufacturer is, and B&M will likely be at least in the top 5. When a park adds a new roller coaster, B&M are a solid choice as they're known for making reliable, high-capacity coasters that are incredibly smooth. Their layouts aren't always the most creative, but a B&M coaster is usually a good way to please both enthusiasts and the general public to a certain degree. Recently, some parks have been converting their old stand-up B&M coasters into floorless ones, with new trains to provide a smoother experience. I first experienced this conversion on Rougarou at Cedar Point and found it superior to Mantis, which preceded it. The coaster still had some jerky transitions, but I really enjoyed it, enough to go back and ride it 3 more times that day. Other parks have followed suit, like with Vortex at California's Great America, which was turned into Patriot. I've heard similar praise for the conversion on this coaster, although it seems like the shortest floorless to ever exist. Six Flags undoubtedly took notice of these floorless conversions, but thankfully Georgia Scorcher is safe for now. Instead, Six Flags set their sights on Apocalypse, the stand-up coaster at Six Flags America. Prior to operating in Maryland, this coaster could be found at Six Flags Great America under the name Iron Wolf, and it has the distinction of being the very first B&M ever built. Every company starts somewhere, and you're looking at the beginning of B&M's legacy. To make room for Goliath, Iron Wolf was sent to Six Flags America as Apocalypse in 2012, with some of the most impressive theming seen from Six Flags. Fast forward to 2019, the coaster was converted into a floorless model, and unlike the previous 2 coasters I mentioned, this one is largely inferior to its predecessor. One positive with Firebird is its new paint scheme, which I really like. The orange and red track is really eye-catching and looks great along with the new floorless trains, which oddly are 1 row shorter than those of Apocalypse. Sadly, in the conversion of Firebird, the coaster has lost a majority of the theming that was so widely liked on Apocalypse. Now it just looks like the coaster was thrown down onto a gravel lot. I like the new logo, and apparently Six Flags did too, as they put it on the station as well. Now I don't know if this was just the day I visited, but Firebird had some of the slowest dispatches in the park. They were running 2 trains, and it took about 5 or 6 minutes between dispatches, so it took me about 25 minutes to get on the ride, even though it was a station wait. Again, this could have just been the day I was there. Firebird only has 2 inversions, which was strange to me to not see the famous interlocking corkscrews toward the end of the layout, but I had to keep reminding myself that those corkscrews were introduced on the floorless models, not the stand-ups. Firebird might look great, but man is it rough. You could tell this was B&M's first attempt at a coaster, and for that reason I'm willing to not be as critical of it as I'd normally be, but some parts were just painful and slammed my head around worse than a Vekoma SLC. The exit of the loop has this really awkward and jerky transition that slams you to the left, and if you've ever searched for the definition of a B&M rattle, look no further than Firebird. The corkscrew was also pretty unforgiving with how much it slammed my head around, and keep in mind I rode in the front row, so I can only imagine how it is in the back. There's also supposed to be a fire effect, but as you can see from my footage here, it wasn't working when I went. Again, this could have just been the day I was there, but it is Six Flags, so I'm not too sure about that. As for the whole experience, Firebird was a coaster that I just did not like. I can appreciate the effort put forth in turning this coaster into a floorless and making it look new again, but appearances can only get you so far. The park is marketing a nearly 30-year-old coaster as a new addition, and you just can't compare it to something B&M have built in the last 5 or even 10 years. It's not a new coaster, it's an elaborate refurbishment, and one I feel was not worth the investment. I thought I was going to spend most of my day marathoning Firebird, but I just found myself going back to Ride of Steel over and over again. Mantis was better than this. Those are my thoughts on Firebird at Six Flags America, proof that not every floorless conversion results in a superior experience. Please let me know what you think of Firebird if you've ridden it, and as usual, hang out here for more coaster content on Rampaging Rex Productions.